Hey minions, part 3 for civil liberties here. Alright, we're going to be talking about free speech in the First Amendment, and we're going to start with Schenck versus the United States. In this case, a guy named Schenck was protesting World War I, which got him locked up for violating the Espionage Act. Now the question was, is this a violation of Schenck's First Amendment rights being protected by the Free Speech Clause, right? Protesting, doing it peacefully. What's the deal? Well, the Supreme Court decides that the Espionage Act could punish him for this because his speech could create a clear and present danger. So this is the first time the Supreme Court has essentially said that your free speech has limits, and those limits are if the speech creates a clear and present danger. They compared this to yelling out fire in a crowded movie theater, which could cause a panic and cause somebody harm. Now, since this decision, they have tweaked the clear and present danger test. Now, essentially, it must be imminent and likely to occur. So, not just any old thing can be deemed clear and present danger. That speech must be seen as potentially creating that danger immediately and likely. Free speech and symbolic speech. So symbolic speech is speech in forms of like images and signs and symbols, so other forms of speech. In Tinker vs. Des Moines, students were suspended for wearing black armbands as a symbol of protest against the Vietnam War. The question was, is symbolic speech protected by the First Amendment? And the decision was that it is, because symbolic speech is just another form of speech. Now, we got this little image here, this bong hits for Jesus, that's actually going to launch us into the next slide. These students all got suspended for holding up the sign. Now, is that a violation of their free speech? In this situation, the courts ruled that no, because there are limits on our speech, as we mentioned before, right? There are restrictions on speech. And in public schools, free speech can be limited if it violates the academic mission of the school or if it's disruptive. In this case, the Supreme Court ruled that it was against the academic mission of the school because they're advocating for drug use. Tinker vs. Des Moines, wearing a black armband isn't disruptive. It's not going against the academic mission of the school. So there's no issues there. Defamation of character is something that can be restricted, right? So this is when you lie to ruin someone's reputation. And libeling is when it's done through written form, and slander is when it's spoken form. Both of these are restricted free speech. You can be punished for these things. Obscenity, words, images, videos that depict sexual activity in an offensive manner and lack artistic merit. They even created a whole test called the Miller test to determine if something is obscene, but it's very difficult to classify something like this. One justice had said, "I'll know it when I see it." So, but essentially put, something that could be classified as obscene can be restricted. And then there's hate speech. That is speech that has no other purpose but to express hatred, racial hatred, gender hatred, sexual orientation hatred, hate speech, right? And this is actually protected by the First Amendment. So there cannot be restrictions on hate speech unless that hate speech is going to create a clear and present danger. All right, guys, that's it for this video.